Hey Ted,
Hey Ned,
how's it going tonight?
the markets are on.
They are. So, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Ned, and with my compatriot Ted, and we're going to do a market recap tonight. And this is the Digital Assets Trading Academy. And make sure to hit the subscribe button, and you'll be notified every time we post a new informative video. And also hit the like button. So, without further ado, let's take a look at some charts. So pretty much kind of nothing new. This is the daily chart of Bitcoin. And while it was an up day, the open and high, the open and the close differed by about $30, $35. Not a lot of action there today. Could have still been a profitable day, especially if you had gotten in here and were able to trade down and catch some of these big waves down. One thing I've noticed is the number of large bars and then followed by just really minimal bars so far this week. So we'll see what happens. But right now, nothing much. We are trading in this support zone and tried to tag up. I think this was in the middle of the night, right? Price busted up, tagged the upper zone, and then came right back down. We could see that if we go down to let's go to a 30-minute chart. Yeah. So this was the shenanigans they played in the middle of the night. 4 a.m.? Yeah, it's funny how it always happens around 4 a.m. Those bots, they're pretty predictable. So this was a resistance line I had drawn back here a few days ago. We made a double tag of it and then dropped off quite significantly. And if you were playing support and resistance, you would have had your sell order up here, like a blind sell, not waiting for any kind of confirmation. You wouldn't have gotten any confirmation here. Price came within, let's see, we're here at about 36.70. And price went up to the high on that bar was 36.69. So you would have had to have front run that by a few ticks, but you could have done that. And then where would you have put your stop? Let me get my drawing tool here. You could have put your stop right at the bottom of this zone. So decrease your risk. That would have been about a $30 stop loss. But then you had multiple R's, right? So if that was $30, and let's see, it's about a 3-to-1 price reward ratio. So, that would have been a smart play there, especially if you didn't want to watch the charts in the middle of the night. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to set my alarm tab for 4 a.m. and maybe 3:55 and try to catch the shenanigans of those robots.
When the market's ranging and there's little action, sometimes it's worth it.
Yeah. So I'm thinking maybe tonight we're going to tag it again. It's hard to tell. So let me introduce this. I've been working on this little oscillator here. It's a momentum oscillator. It's kind of an algorithm I've been developing over some time, and it's kind of loosely based on the Heikin Ashi. And when it turns magenta, that means that on the Heikin Ashi there's a doji. And dojis on the Heikin Ashi candles are good reversals, potential reversals. So anyway, more details on this oscillator will be coming in the future. But for now, it's green, so momentum is moving up. So who knows? Maybe Bitcoin is going to attempt to break out of this range and try to hit this higher range. So that would be my guess at this moment. Looking at the 30-minute chart, if we look at the 4-hour chart, you could definitely see a big period of just range bound. And then here, was the magenta signal for the doji on the Heikin Ashi, and then if you took that signal, you would have traded up nicely into the upper zone. And now we're just trading back down. We'll see if we can try to head back up and hit the zone. So it looks fairly bullish on the 4-hour chart, and that's certainly what I would be watching for. All right, XRP. So let's see, XRP, man, tiny range. There's about a 2-cent range, and we've been in for about a week now. So not a lot of action here. It was this is a would have been a buy signal here on this candle, and rode that to the top, and then sold here. Now we're just kind of in the middle of no man's land. Hard to tell. Here we try to pop up a little bit, and we hit the bottom of the range. That would lead me to think that perhaps we're going to come down and retest the bottom. If we look at the daily candle or the daily chart, it's not going to help us out much. We have this line right here, which has acted as support for the last week. We have some stronger support and resistance above and below it. And on the indicator, the oscillator looks like we may be moving lower. So it's hard to tell. Today was the only thing that would give me pause to think this might be, there might be a bullish move coming is this candle right here, which looks like a shooting star. But it's in the wrong place, right? So normally you'd want to see a shooting star up around here at the top. And when you see it there, it's definitely a reversal to the downside. But since we're getting it right here in the middle of the range, it's has the potential to be a false indicator and that there might be a bullish move coming up after that. So I've seen that played out multiple times. You could see that right here. This candle right here, right? So that's a shooting star, but it's totally in the wrong place, right? Again, it should be at the top. And that was a great entry signal for those who noticed that. So we could be repeating history again. So we'll have to see and watch what happens through the night.
We can switch over, and I could take a look at XRP on the 15-minute.
Sure. You want to share your screen?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
All right. So if you take a look here, I am taking a look at what is going on with this.
Just click on where it says Pine Editor. Yep.
Okay. So I've drawn here a short time frame trading range. So I've called the blue areas the neutral zone. And if people are familiar with the market profile, this would be the POC. This is the area that price is spending the most time. And I'm looking at an XRP Bitcoin chart. So the Y scale is in Satoshis. But it's very easy to convert. This would be around 33 and a third cent. So price is spending a lot of time around here, as same thing on Ned's charts. What I was looking at last night is just around right before 4:30, price ran up, tagged this zone, and I added to my position on a sell. And I got in right around here and kind of watched this during the day, and kind of I thought we were gonna get past the neutral zone to the support, but we didn't make it. So a couple things here. You can think now that this might actually be the new support, which would make sense because we are in such a small range. So if that's the case, then you can kind of just immediately switch your perspective and say, okay, well now this might be the new range to play. And if the price isn't going to drop down to that next zone, then you don't need to look at it, and you can just evaluate based on this. So even so, I mean, we're getting a little nice dip here, but it's kind of been back and forth, back and forth. So potentially another tag to the first support zone, that would be around 32 cents. But if you go back to the daily and you see that shooting star confirmation, this might be going back up. So I'm going to be watching this very closely. Again, this is not trading advice. Please make your own informed trading decisions. We're just here to educate.
Right. We forgot to say that. This is for educational purposes only. Hey, Ted, over here, can you zoom in on this area right here? Oop. Yeah, just right there. Can you zoom in on that top?
More?
Yeah. So I want to talk about that chart pattern.
Okay.
The price pattern here. So
yeah.
This is known as tweezer tops. So you see how the two wicks come up and they're almost perfectly at the same height.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they differ by a little smidgen here.
Barely,
yeah. When you see that, it's like just sell the farm, because that is a reversal pattern. And it's you don't get it that often, but it's one of those you could go to the bank on. And then if you scroll to the left side, I think I saw one at the bottom of the chart a few days prior. Yeah, like maybe another week or so to the left.
Oh, here. Right?
No, that way. Keep going back in time. More. Yeah, somewhere on the bottom there. Maybe it's in this region here.
Oh, I see it. This?
Well, they have to be right next to each other. So I thought I saw it when you were really scrunched up, and I thought I saw it there. But anyway, that's the pattern that you would look for, and it's called tweezers, and it can be at the top or the bottom. The candles have to be right next to each other, but when they are, it's definitely a very strong reversal signal. So I just wanted to let everybody know about that, because if you do see them, they don't happen that often, but when they do happen, they're great reversal signals. And they have to be in a definite area of support or resistance. So it's not just the pattern, it's also the location of the pattern.
Well, as we move on here, just remember, it's easy to play in the neutral zone, but it's harder to play, in your defensive end. So just keep that in mind when trading.
How about those New Orleans Saints the other night? They came back. They were, man, that interception like on the first set of downs, and then down 14-0. But yeah, I don't know. They seem destined maybe to make it back to the Super Bowl this year.
We'll see.
Drew Brees. It's Drew Brees' last year, right? He's retiring.
Not sure, but
all right.
All right, you want the screen back?
Yeah, let me do a share. All right, and let's end the night with Tron. So, Mr. Tron, we had such high hopes, and then a couple days ago we had this big green candle moving up, and I kind of thought we were going to bust through. And we've taken a bit of a pause here, which makes sense. Definitely, right? This looks like a pretty standard bull flag here, right? So you have a strong move up, and then you kind of create a little pennant, right? And we have this nice flagpole to hang the flag on. So tomorrow, in San Francisco, Tron has their Nitron conference. I'm expecting some pretty big fireworks. I heard today there was a new exchange, one of these new decentralized exchanges that are opening up, seems like once a week now. And they announced like 20 or 30 trading pairs based on Tron. And they're going to support all the Tron TR20 or TR10 tokens, right? So those are the coins based on the Tron protocol. So that's pretty exciting news. I'm sure there's going to be more announcements tomorrow. I'm pretty excited. I want to see if this price pumps or if it kind of retraces a little bit. Sometimes it's buy the rumor, sell the news, but we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Binance had some good trade volume last night. If there are people out there who don't know where to buy Tron, I recommend Binance. They have great fee structures and really good volume because, if you're doing your technical analysis and you can't execute your order because you're using kind of an exchange, one of these random exchanges that no one really knows about, you aren't going to get your position filled where you want it to be. And then, your analysis becomes off. So, it is important to be aware of trade volume and, definitely the big exchanges, Kraken, pretty solid, and Binance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's liquidity, man. Liquidity. You need that liquidity. Otherwise, you get killed on the spread. So,
yeah.
Yeah. And we'll go into that more in an upcoming video because that's a big topic. So, all righty. Also, the other thing is if you hold Binance's coin, BNB, you get greatly reduced transaction fees. I think they're like half off or something like that.
Yeah.
So just by holding their coin on their exchange, I know this coin, like everything else, ran up to like, I think $20 last year. So I was very happy about that. Yeah, $24. I think I finally got out around 18 or so in this range.
Isn't it amazing how far we've come that you can actually trade the fee token? I mean, that's like, think about traditional banking systems. If Chase or Bank of America charges you $30 on a wire, now you can essentially trade that wire fee structure in the crypto space.
Yeah.
There's nothing else like this, guys. This is really exciting.
Yeah. I love my oscillator. I have to do some more testing, but you see when you get these big moves down, here we have like a perfect V. And then if you had entered along on the next uptick, you could have gotten it at $4.60-ish, and that could have been almost a 2x trade. So, even in the cold winter of or what are they calling it? The crypto winter of 2018, there's still money to be made. So keep coming back. We're going to be pointing these things out to you. I'll be reviewing my oscillator in more detail. Need to spend some more time back testing and adjusting the algorithm. So that's a good reason to hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit the little alarm that's right next to it. You'll get automatically notified every time we post a video. Let us know comments or what you'd like for us to discuss.
And be sure to check the morning market updates. We're going to be there every workday, giving you a map and a guide to where the market's at, highs and lows, averages, everything that you could think of. It's going to be in those morning market updates, and don't miss out.
All right, cool. All right, anything else for tonight, Ted?
I think that's it. I'm excited for the bonus content that we have planned for people next month. So, yeah, check us out.
Cool. All right. Good night, everybody.